So, Heather cornered me at tea time with a very interesting question. She said, "So what's Metta Practice?" I was very, very like, what kooky thing are you guys trying to get us to do now? And I love it because in, structured Buddhist company, everybody knows what metta is, and nobody asks the question, and everybody might be operating with a bunch of assumptions. And so it's really lovely actually to be in an environment with mixed levels of practitioners, because getting to hear new explanations and even like forcing teachers to give new explanations keeps the material relevant. It keeps us thinking like, wait, do I know what metta is? Could I explain it to somebody? And so I'll try. So metta is from the word mitta, which means friend. And it's friend making. It's an emotion that we feel, and it's one of the four noble emotions. So goodwill, compassion, sympathetic joy, and equanimity. And when all of the afflictive emotions have kind of been washed away, this is how we relate to other beings, through these four channels. And metta is considered the first one in the Theravada tradition to start cultivating, because it's like we were talking about this morning with sila. Metta is that quality of heart, of friendliness or goodwill. It's not perceiving an enemy, not perceiving a threat in others, perceiving the good in others, perceiving the beautiful in others. And that is a wonderful way of liberating us from all of the energy we put into creating the others and into creating a self to defend. It's in the same way that sila and sense restraint and mindfulness and contentment are not like individual techniques per se, but they're more big picture things. They're things we're cultivating all along while we're doing our breath meditation or a loving kindness meditation or a body contemplation. In the same way, metta, I put it on the schedule because it really should be something that we're cultivating all along the way. It's a fantastic way of being sure that the mind will have a buffer and an energy to it when we need that, when we're challenged. So metta, it's wonderful while you're doing it. But when you make it a regular part of your practice, even a daily part of your practice, then it's really there to protect you when there's something that would otherwise bring up a lot of afflictive emotions. It'll just wash over you. And so the Buddha said that metta is one who practices it concentrates their mind very easily. Yeah. Because if you're not getting caught up in afflictive emotions like anger repeatedly throughout the day, well, then there's less disturbance. It should be easier, yeah? So we'll do a little metta practice. And this is the time I've come to start doing it every day, because it really is worthy of spending a bit of time to do it every day. And I just found through trial and error that the evening is good because of the particular way that I like to start metta practice. And that is to think of somebody giving you something today. There are many ways that this idea can play out. It doesn't necessarily have to have been that somebody physically put something in your hand, but we've all been on retreat. We all ate alms food. We can connect something that we ate with the person who gave it. Or maybe somebody set up your computer for you, or gave you a little extra space to sit, or responded to a question you had. And just think about that moment, or that object that was given, or that person. You can imagine that person smiling. Now, it seems like there's still more you can do with that image of that person. Then think of them again, smiling. Or think of something else that you were given today. And think of the person who gave it smiling. Think of the joy they must have gotten seeing somebody receiving that gift. And this is friendliness, giving and receiving. Imagine yourself smiling at that person as they're smiling back at you. Like you're sharing a joke together. And if something else comes up, think of something else you were given today, or some way that you were helped, or some admirable quality you saw in someone. We don't need to look for any particular effect, though we might experience a lightening of the mind. So rather than looking, as we habitually do, for a very pleasant reaction, instead notice how when you think of this person doing something for you, there's no basis for ill will at that moment. Notice how there's a sense of ease. You think about that person smiling. That would help relieve you of any grudge you might feel against them. And that's good, because a grudge takes so much energy, whereas goodwill takes no energy at all. It creates energy. And this is something you can develop, a sense of goodwill towards that person. And if any lingering little voice in your mind warns you that you should be on guard, you just kind of brush it aside. No, it's okay. Now you can, with that sense of ease and kindness towards that person, think of somebody else in this room, knowing that this other person also gave you something today. See if you can figure out what it is. Think of it and get an image of it. Think of the joy they got in giving it and offering it, seeing it received. And this is not just a reflection on the kindness of that person, but on the worthiness of you to be given a gift. You see yourself smiling at this person, being okay with this person, knowing that it is okay to be okay. It is okay to be free from anger, free from hurt, free from loneliness, to be in a room of good people. Now move to someone else in the room. And apply the same goodwill, imagining them smiling at you and you smiling at them. And somewhere in here, you might feel a layer of armor coming down from over the heart, realizing you don't need it, feeling what a relief that is. Balanced metta practice doesn't need to be an effort. This is the heart of it, and the dropping of all the energy we put into distrust and animosity, and just letting it go. When that's out of the way, metta practice is a lot like counting your blessings and just thinking of all the friends you have. It's okay to be okay. It's okay to be happy. It's okay to smile, to laugh. It's okay to not have a plan, not be perfect. And imagine what it might feel like to sit in a room, smiling, happy almost to the point that it's silly, not having a beef with anyone. And if you find yourself thinking, well, what's the point? What next? And just laugh at that thought. It doesn't need to be a point to metta. It doesn't need to be a point to friendship. It doesn't need to be a point to kindness. Now, however you're sitting, just find a way to get 10% more comfortable. Prop up your feet, change your posture, even stick your feet out, lean on your elbow, it doesn't matter. And for the next few minutes, just be and let your mind be okay with not having an agenda, not having a problem, not having a grievance. Occasionally think of somebody, smile at them, see them smiling back. Even think of a friend who's far away. What a blessing that you can share a smile with them, even across such a great distance. And they might find themselves smiling and not even remember why. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Mhm.